There's a large, there's a lot of us have been involved in the project design and or the call, including the heads of learning development across each of the institutions, and obviously colleagues in the centre. So we just want to, I suppose, make explicit that we really want to work with the project team, and there's ways in which we want to sort of make that evident in terms of our level of commitment. So we're really happy to allocate between 50 and 100 hours of our time over the 2-year period. This is something we would negotiate with whoever the successful project team is. So it might not necessarily be the LTC here, but obviously CELT and ITB staff as well. So whoever is going to work to support the project work. What we can offer you, certainly as a centre and also CELT, I'm sure as an ITB, we can negotiate round about this, but we just thought it would be useful to give a little snapshot of areas where we felt that we could contribute usefully. Obviously, we're educational researchers, so that's part of our role. We support the programs and we're supervising doctoral students. So from that, we would be able to give you a lot of the current curriculum design thinking and practices. We are engaging with many colleagues internationally and nationally, so we'd be aware of what's actually happening. But obviously, we support a number of continuous professional development programs and master's projects. So we would have extensive expertise around about designing educational research processes, aspects around data collection, analysis methods, or whatever, if that would be useful to you. We can support as well around about data collection, emergent theme identification analysis, and also just modes of dissemination. We would be involved in a variety of projects. We work closely with various committees, so we can use that to feed in any outputs that come from the project. We had a strategy employed with the LEAF project whereby Zini, as the project team member, is reporting back to us as a Learning, Teaching and Assessment Strategy Committee. She's also involved in reporting back on a number of activities that we're actively involved in. I think that's been useful from both sides because it acts as a deadline for herself, but also it keeps us informed of what actually is happening as the project is evolving. So we'd negotiate that obviously with yourselves once the project started. Just to finally just say what the requirements are, and we've alluded to them and you're probably very familiar with the documentation already, but there is a requirement that we need to have at least one representative from each of the different subject disciplines. This is just to capture the breadth of the subject disciplinary base across the 3 institutions. So you need one from each of those 4. You also need to have a collaborative partner from each of the institutions, and we'd be negotiating our involvement afterwards. So you can take that as a given. The level of support, whether it's the minimum of 20 or a little bit more extensive up to 100, we negotiate. The submissions are going to be evaluated as we did with the LEAF project, which would have an internal group with external reviewers, and we are reviewing them on the basis of the cost. It's very much down to so what are you delivering for the cost? How cost efficient or effective are your targets and deliverables? This whole kind of comprehensiveness and the quality of the approach to the project, obviously that's going to be key to the success of that. What is your distinctive approach? And also expertise, experience and disciplinary diversity available through the team. That needs to be reflected within the application. Last time we had quite a number of applications, but some didn't have that breadth of knowledge or expertise across the application, so obviously they weren't selected. However wonderful that particular cluster of researchers was, it didn't actually meet the criteria. And there's also, I suppose, a little bit of kudos. Not only do you get the money, you can't actually see its bottom, sorry, it's cut off, but you actually can call yourselves TU Dublin Teaching Fellows for the duration of the project, which I think affirms the value that the institution is putting on the project. So now we have a question and answer session, and there's also some food outside, so it's a little bit less.